like selling nuclear weapons to North Korea. Those are the actual words that the CEO of Anthropic used at Davos this week. Meanwhile, Microsoft, the company that sells Copilot to all of us, just got caught using Claude Code internally. And to finish it off, users are calling Anthropic's latest move a rug pull. This week in AI coding tools was an absolute chaos, and I'm going to break down everything you need to know about it. The hype, the reality, and what this actually means for your workflows. So let's start with a story that went viral this week, and trust me, you're gonna wanna sit down for this one. Breaking news that just dropped this week, Microsoft, the company that sells GitHub Copilot, is now using Claude Code internally. According to The Verge, Microsoft is encouraging thousands of employees from its biggest teams to use Claude Code. We're talking Windows, Microsoft 365, Teams, Bing, Edge, the core products. Even non-developers are being asked to experiment with it. Designers and project managers are now prototyping with Claude Code. Let that sink in. Microsoft sells Copilot to their customers, but internally, they're switching to Claude Code. Now, to me, that's not just competition. That's a vote of no confidence in their own product. The CEO of Anthropic made waves at Davos this week. Dario Amodei publicly criticized chip sales to China. And he didn't hold back. Here's what he said. "I think this is crazy. It's a bit like selling nuclear weapons to North Korea." Now, I'm not here to take political sides, but when the guy building Claude Code compares AI chip infrastructure to nuclear weapons, then that tells you something about the stakes. And Amodei also predicted that artificial general intelligence will be arriving within a few years and not decades. And not only that, he warned about significant job displacements, especially mentioning the coding industry. And that wasn't the only alarming thing said at Davos this week. Marc Benioff, the Salesforce CEO, said something even more shocking. This year, you really saw something pretty horrific, which is these AI models became suicide coaches. And that's not a paraphrase, that's a direct quote. Suicide coaches. He's referencing documented cases where chatbots were seemingly linked to the loss of human life, and he's calling for AI regulation on the back of it. And whether you agree or not, when billionaires are this alarmed about their own industry, pay attention. Okay, now we need to talk about something that might be affecting you right now. If you use Claude Code, this next story is personal. Claude Code users are furious. They're calling it a rug pull. Here's what went down. Since the weekly limit reset on January 8th, Opus 4.5 usage limits have been dramatically reduced. One GitHub issue with over 250 upvotes documents it as the most restrictive since Opus 4.5 launch. Users are reporting hitting 67% of their session usage in just 1 hour of trivial tasks. And before January, some users worked 4 to 6 hours daily and never hit the limits for 3 months straight. And the worst part, Anthropic hasn't responded to any of these issues, despite hundreds of upvotes and comments on their GitHub issues. As a consequence, the phrase rug pull is trending in developer communities, users are canceling subscriptions, and the trust that Anthropic built is starting to evaporate real fast. And here's the kicker. Boris Cherny, one of Claude Code's creators, revealed the reason on X. Accepting plans now resets your context. They say it improves reliability, but users see it as the real reason their limits feel worse. This post went viral with over 150,000 views, and the community is definitely not happy. Meanwhile, the market is shifting. As of January 21st, Codex has 26.7% market share, and GitHub Copilot has 22.9%. The student has surpassed the master, and OpenAI's standalone Codex is now more popular than Copilot. This is a massive shift. The tool that GitHub built on top of OpenAI's technology is now being overtaken by OpenAI's own standalone product. Now back to Davos, and this is where it gets intense. The tech leaders are clashing on timelines. Elon Musk, January 22nd, AI smarter than any human by the end of this year, no later than next year. Dario Amodei, the guy who just made the nukes comment, went even further. AGI between 2026 and 2027. And here's the scary part. He predicted 50% of white-collar jobs will be gone within 5 years. But Demis Hassabis from DeepMind pumped the brakes. He said there's only a 50% chance we get AGI within a decade. We might need 1 or 2 more breakthroughs. But look at these numbers. The IMF says that 60% of jobs in advanced economies will be affected by artificial intelligence, and that 41% of employers are already planning workforce reductions. The IMF managing director herself, Kristalina Georgieva, called it a tsunami hitting the labor market. Her exact words? Most countries and most businesses are not prepared for it. And here's where it gets real. Jamie Dimon, the JP Morgan CEO, said we need government intervention to prevent mass AI layoffs. His exact words? To save society. Now, I don't want to leave you with just doom and gloom. Jensen Huang from NVIDIA says AI doesn't destroy jobs, it redefines them. He's predicting a blue-collar boom. Plumbers, electricians, 6-figure construction jobs building AI infrastructure. Now, I don't know about you, but that definitely makes me wonder what the future looks like. Alright, we covered all the big stuff, but that's not all that happened this week. Let me rapid fire through the rest. And pay attention, because some of these may affect how you work tomorrow. Quick hits. A developer got banned from Claude Code for creating a CLAUDE.md file. This hit the front page of Hacker News. 500 plus points later, users are furious. GitHub launched the Copilot SDK in technical preview. January 14th, SDKs for Node.js, Python, Go, and .NET. You can now build your own agent on top of Copilot. Anthropic rewrote Claude's constitution and admitted they were uncertain whether Claude has a consciousness or moral status. Now, that's a lot to take in. Next, January 21st, GitHub Copilot now has plan modes. Plan before you build. The standalone extension is deprecated, and it's built in natively now. Anthropic launched Cowork in January 12th, essentially Claude Code for non-coders. File management, browser control, autonomous actions, you name it and it does it. January 22nd, Codex CLI added agent skills, reusable instruction bundles you can install per user or per repository. As a result, automation gets even easier. Microsoft says 30% of their code is AI-generated. Google says on their end it's 25%, but one thing's for certain, the numbers keep rising all over. Apple picked Gemini as the model to use for Siri. XAI raised $20 billion at a $230 billion valuation. And this is cool. Superpowers is now an official Claude plugin. Merged into the marketplace on January 15th. Sub-agent-driven development, built-in code review, red-green PDD, skill authoring. The community tool goes mainstream. Now let me bring it all together. Microsoft got caught using Claude Code internally while selling Copilot to everyone else. Davos gave us explosive quotes about AI risk, from nuclear weapons analogies to suicide coaches. Claude Code users are calling Anthropic's limit changes an absolute rug pull, the most restrictive since launch. And thus far, no response from Anthropic. Codex officially overtook Copilot in market share. Seems like the AI coding wars are heating up. And the people building these tools think that artificial general intelligence is only months away from reality. Oh, and the developer got banned for creating a CLAUDE.md file. The drama continues. Now that's your week in AI coding tools. A quick shout out to this week's sponsor, the Agentic Academy. If you want to really master these tools and not just hear about them in a digest, we have got the full training. 9 complete curriculums, Claude Code, Codex CLI, Gemini CLI, Copilot CLI, Cursor AI, and much, much more. Interactive modules, real-world projects, certification. And here's the cool part. We're giving away 100 free lifetime access codes. And the code is on the screen right now, and you can also find it in the description of this video below. Go to agenticacademy.dev, click sign up, enter the code. First 100 people get full access to all 9 curriculums, completely for free. That's your Agentic Digest for this week. And look, this space moves so fast. What's true on Monday is outdated by Friday. And if you don't want to get blindsided by these changes, like the people who woke up with dramatically reduced limits, then hit that subscribe button. Every week, I'll break down what actually happens within this space and what matters for your workflows. No hype, no doom, just the reality. And maybe a tiny bit of humor as well. And if you made it this far, drop a comment down below telling me which tool you're using right now. I'm curious which one's your favorite and why. Is it Claude Code? Is it Copilot? Is it Codex? Is it Cursor? Let me know. And I'll see you in the next one.